Radio today. Also AMFM247.com. Tune in, iTunes. You can also find us on the old Twitter machine at JIGGYJAGYR. Lots of things happening today. We are going to go to Dr. Julie Gatza, who is going to join us here in just a few seconds. And you can go ahead and get a hold of us online at JiggyJaguar.com. That's JIGGYJAGUAR.com. Lots of things happening, lots of things going on. And we are going to go to Dr. Julie Gatza here in just a few seconds. And she will join us here on the old Twitter machine. Actually, she'll join us on Skip Skype, not the Twitter machine. So we go to Dr. Julie Gatza, who is patiently waiting for us. We will see what the heck she is up to. Dr. Gatza, how are you, my friend?
I'm good. How about you?
Pretty good, actually.
Excellent.
So, before we get started, all those books behind you on the bookshelf, have you read all those?
Not all of them.
Or are they all just decoration?
I read a lot, but it's a little harder to read all of them.
Yes. Well, I always have to ask that question to everybody because we've been doing a lot of Skype interviews, and there are people at their homes and at their offices, and I'm like, do you read all those books? War and Peace, baby.
It's going to be a little hard to crack the cover.
That is awesome. Dr. Julie Gatza with us today. She joins us live here on our big broadcast. And she is one of our favorite folks to have on this program because she is always entertaining. But she also has a lot of great information. And you can get more information at naturesources.com or 800-827-7656. And what do you have for us today, my friend? You always have some very interesting things going on.
We're going to talk about sugar cravings and how to actually recognize where it's coming from and how to handle it so that you can get a much better control on what's going on with your diet, your life, metabolism, your weight, your energy.
So sugar craving seems to be a major topic with these lockdowns and all this craziness going on. What are some of the things we need to be first of all, what causes sugar cravings? I want to start there because you're the expert. I know nothing about this.
All right. Well, there's usually two reasons. You can just have, a holiday, eating a lot of sugar starts to run the metabolism into a sugar-driven metabolism instead of a very stable metabolism that you feed it protein and vegetables and you have lots of energy. Once you go into the dark side and you start eating a bunch of sugar, it's hard to get out of it, and it takes some discipline. And basically, once you do and you start eating better, it takes about 3 to 5 days, and you go, oh, good, I'm off sugar, or I'm not eating so much, I'm feeling better. That's just simply that you've been eating poorly and you've been off the rails. But commonly, what happens is people have had a yeast overgrowth, or what we call candida albicans, and it's an overgrowth of yeast in the digestive tract, which puts the bacteria in balance. Yeast needs sugar to survive, so they're craving sugar and telling you constantly, we need sugar, we need sugar. That could be in the form of actual sugar, carbohydrates, pops, refined, corn syrup, and they actually have to have it. And you think you just have willpower that's lower than it used to be, and you really have little beasties living in your gut screaming, feed me.
Wow, that is some scary stuff. Thank you for that, doctor. It is Dr. Julie Gatza. She's with us today here in our broadcast. She is one of the nation's top chiropractic physicians. She's got more than 20 years of clinical practice. She's a highly popular speaker. She has designed and presented hundreds of wellness workshops for both parents and practitioners, where she has addressed a wide range of health issues and a focus on the role that digestion plays in maintaining a healthy immune system. So what's the difference between feeling hungry and having cravings for sugar? Give us more details on this, my friend.
If you're hungry and you eat a decent meal, you're full. If you're hungry and you eat a decent meal and you're still craving sugar, it often can be a sign of candida. Now, candida can be very obvious where you're getting, yeast infections and you're on different medications, females in particular. But, signs that you have a yeast infection or candida overgrowth can be fatigue, brain fog, skin disorders of all kinds. You can have circles under your eyes. You can have all sorts of digestive upset and low energy, weight gain, hormonal imbalance. These are all also signs that you have an imbalance in the gut and it's no longer the way it's supposed to be, where you could just fix it by eating a decent meal and, getting back on track in a couple of days.
Wow. It is Dr. Julie Gatza. She joins us today here via the magic of the old Skype, the old Skype-a-rooney. And she's with us today talking a little bit about sugar cravings and how to take care of all these different things. Now, what are some of the other physical symptoms of this candida and how it behaves and what can it cause and all these things?
So you can also have things like toenail fungus. You can have very itchy skin. A lot of people complain of having itchy skin and breakouts, things like this. The digestive upset is also, you can have gas and bloating, indigestion, different, upsets that way. And, a lot of people are trying to lose weight. They're trying to get back on track and they can't get off the sugar. They're craving the carbohydrates. They have to have bread. They have to have, pizzas and pretzels and things like this. And they just think, I just need carbs. Well, what really is needed is those yeasts need sugar to actually continue to survive. So these symptoms are not easily diagnosed at an MD. They're mostly what's going on with your history, what's going on with the symptoms. There's not such a black and white test to see if you've got this.
Wow. It is Dr. Julie Gatza. She's with us today here in our broadcast. She joins us live talking a little bit about sugar cravings and SUD, which is sugar use disorder. And so you warn us that those that have extreme cravings for sugar may be infested with this, which is just fantastically amazing. Sugar-hungry yeast. What are some other things that we can do to get this candida under control?
Well, I've been doctoring just about 30 years, and anyone that came in with a yeast problem, which was very common, but once it really got out of hand, it was 6 months to 2 years to try to correct. It was lots of things that we were throwing at it, lots of different nutrients and herbs and things like this. And I found this product called Kolorex, and it's Kolorex. And you take 1 tablet a day for 30 days, and it actually helps to kill the yeast colonies. I've never seen anything so easy. It makes me want to handle yeast patients again, because before it was really distressing for the patient, and it's very depressing for the doctor to continue to tell them to do the same thing: no sugar, no carbs, no pops, no. And it does work eventually, but this Kolorex is amazing. It's from an herb that comes from New Zealand. So it's only grown there. It's been around for thousands of years with the tribes of New Zealand, and it pretty much helps to wipe out the imbalance. Now, you do need some yeast in the body, and the bacteria and the yeast keep themselves in control. But if you've been on antibiotics even once, you're not just wiping out the bacteria for the lung infection or the earache that you put it on for your child. You're wiping out all good bacteria as well, and that's where the yeast says, oh, wow, nothing to keep us in check. So we keep Kolorex in the house. I keep it on the shelf at the office, and anyone who's been on antibiotics, as soon as they get off of it, we put them on the Kolorex. And anyone who's displaying yeast problems, or they're having a hard time moving the weight off their body and getting the energy back, or just digesting correctly, we put them on the Kolorex, and it's as simple as it could possibly be. Little kids can go on this, and so can elderly.
Wow, that is pretty amazing. We have got a great guest with us today. She joins us live here in our big broadcast. Dr. Julie Gatza is with us. And so how can people get their hands on this that you're talking about?
They can go onto a website, which is naturesources.com. They can read all about the Kolorex. They can find out, what form and it comes in. It has all sorts of other things where it has things for the skin itself. They can also call the 1-800 number, which is 1-800-827-76 888-888-5656. And if they remember to use the code radio, they can ask for 20% off their first bottle. Or their first order, really. So I always say order 2, get the deal, and keep one on the shelf because it's, it really works. I mean, I've had a patient recently that had chronic urinary tract infections, and it's really expensive. It's distressing. It's hard to handle. We put her on Kolorex 30 days and was getting them just had one for 6 months. So it's pretty amazing. It really does wipe out the imbalance and help to get that back in track, which is just all the body needs.
That's awesome. Well, Dr. Julie Gatza, thank you for doing this. And thanks for bringing us the update and giving us a really good story here. Thank you, my friend.
You're welcome. Awesome to see you again.
I appreciate it. Thank you, Dr. Gatza. Keep up the good work and keep me updated on if you decide to crack open War and Peace there. Thank you, doctor. Appreciate it, my friend. There she goes, Dr. Gatza. And